Hey guys, welcome back to Call Me After Coffee. It's Bree here. Thanks so much for joining. If you haven't been here before, welcome and enjoy the ride, enjoy the video. This week I wanted to paint a cardinal, which are one of my favorite birds. In case you don't know me very well, I love birds. I really love birds. I have 3 different bird tattoos. I have a dove, I have an owl, and I have a sparrow. But I do love blue jays and cardinals. I just think are some of the most beautiful birds because they're so brightly colored. And painting this bird was really fun. I had to do layer after layer after layer, which is kind of tough to do on such thin paper, but I just tried to use as little water as I could. And actually the page didn't ripple that badly. Shortly after I filmed this video, I did make a trip to Michael's and I did buy a this is a number 6 brush. I did go and buy, I think it's a number 1. So it's a lot tinier, it gives you a lot kind of more control when you're journaling because the brush doesn't hold so much water, so you can get a little bit more pigment with a little less water. When I'm painting something bigger, I love this brush, or even I think I have a number 10 that's bigger that you can kind of like cover more space with and hold a lot more water and do a lot more like color bleeds and stuff. But for this, I just kind of wanted to shade in the cardinal and make it look as realistic as I possibly could. I'm really digging how this turned out. I think it turned out pretty good. I've been up in my game and just practicing a lot and getting a lot better with shading and color and things like that. And I just really love how this painting turned out. The beak was a little bit tricky because it was so small, like such a small area, and the brush was just a little bit too big. It sort of like puddled the paint, so I had to be really careful. And also putting in the eye whenever that comes along. It's not until like near the very end, but when I had to add in the eye, it actually, like I had to use a black micron because the eye in the picture anyway, like their eyes are pretty much as black as like the black feathers around their beak, so it almost looks like that you can't see their eyes. So that was a little bit tricky, and getting his feet right. His feet were kind of tricky for me because feet are really awkward. So I feel like this bird looks really good, except his feet are like a little wonky. And I just tried to like put the branches and berries in a way that looked like it was actually standing on them. And you'll see when I work this painting, I tend to do kind of a little spot, a little spot, a little spot, a little spot, and I just kind of move around. That way the page is dry by the time I want to add more to what's already there. Instead of doing like the whole bird and letting it dry and the whole bird and letting it dry, I kind of moved on to the foliage and stuff that goes around it. And then I go back and I'm going to fill in the wing, the bottom of the wing once the top part of the wing is dry. Also, after I finished, I'm gonna let you guys know, after I finished painting this, a few days later, I did decide to go back in because I felt like the brown on the wing was a little bit too, like it was lacking like some pigment. So I put in a little bit more red there, so it's still brown, but it's just not as light. Like it doesn't look like, to me it looked like it was missing something. So I just wanted to add a little something extra. And I have kind of a funny story. So when I filmed this, I really thought that it's gonna be like Inception when you hear this, but when I filmed this, I thought this week was the next week, and I actually missed an entire week, and I was kind of like, oh shit, what do I do now? How do I fix this? And then I remembered I left a space for a memories page that I didn't know if I was gonna do it. So what I did was I moved the memories page behind the weeklies and then used that double page as the first week of February, because you'll see this week starts on the 5th. And somehow I missed like from January 29th to February 3rd or whatever it is, February 4th, whatever the days are. I missed like an entire week. So while I was painting this, I was like, this is gonna go up next week. And then I realized it's gonna go up in 2 weeks, or almost 2 weeks. But it will be up soon, hopefully. Hopefully you guys will see this before the week starts, is what I'm saying. I am like, oh man, I'm all over the place today. I've been filming, and now I'm just doing the voiceover, and I'm like tripping over my words so hard, but hopefully you guys don't mind that. I wanted something, because it is February, and obviously you guys, if you've seen the February setup, I mentioned I like the Valentine-y colors at Valentine's, but I didn't want something like over the top cutesy. So I did a carnation, and then actually the real week before this, I set up, you saw on Instagram, I painted another carnation, and then I have this bird. I don't know what I'm going to do the week after, but I kind of kept with the reddish pinkish theme, but without the like too much cuteness. I'll do cuteness maybe for actual Valentine's Day week. I just kind of like save it for that, but I have no idea what I'm doing because my brain is like out of ideas. And then for this, it kind of cuts off because I forgot that the camera turned off and I kept going. So all of a sudden it will jump and all of the writing will be done and you'll see the finished product. Boom, there you are. So this is just a little close-up, which I always like to add in because you just get a little bit more detail, but I love how that bird turned out, except for the brownish on the wing. I mentioned I fixed that. And then this part gave me a rough time because at first I was going to accent it in like a coral color, but I remembered I wanted to use an olive green pen this week, so then I had to go back over it with like a gel pen and stuff and fix it. But I really love how this turned out. I think it's a really cute week and it's going to be fun once I finally get there. Comment below what you think of it. Let me know if you have your own planner channel. Don't forget to check out my planner community playlist and also Cindy's. Those are linked in the playlist area and I'll try and link them somewhere too. But I will talk to you all in my next video. Thanks so much. Bye bye.